Hello Posh Preppers, or just preppers, or Posh Prepper adjacent viewers and followers. I wanted to record this whilst I was sitting on top of my World War II air raid shelter. I thought that was appropriate given the global poly crisis. Posh Preppers is just a silly hashtag. It means you're prepared, you're pragmatic, and you're ahead of the curve. And that's where we need to be right now. This is sustainable living for the moment. I'm Lucy and this is a Posh Preppers update. Today there was a big speech from Ed Miliband, the Energy Secretary, and I just wanted to check in because there's some gold in there for us in terms of, remember Posh Prepper, it's a silly term, it just means we're prepared, pragmatic and ahead of the curve, and that's where we're going to stay. Thanks to this deconstruction of today's speech. Now, I wouldn't normally bother you with a speech from Westminster because our collective time is precious. There's also the whole kind of Starmer-drama that's going on, so I understand that this could easily be eclipsed. However, I think for our community of Posh Preppers, it's kind of important. Okay, I also want so let's start with something that I'm a little bit obsessed with, which is the spark gap. Now, the spark gap might mean nothing to you, but essentially it is a problem that we have in the UK because if you've got any electrification going on, and electrifying your home is key to posh prepping, you want to be able to generate your own energy and you want to be able to make money from your own energy. And that's becoming more possible because the kit is there, the tariffs are emerging, the policy space is changing, but we have this stumbling block which has been termed the spark gap. That is basically the fact that we pay a lot for our electricity, a lot more than in other countries, because the price of electricity is set by gas. I know, it's absolutely bonkers. And that did Ed Miliband today consign the spark gap to the bin of history and leave all of the heat pump owners cheering? No, he did not. However, we did move along a few stages. What we've got here is more of a trial separation, so they're still in the same house and they're still sharing the bills, essentially. On that note, plug-in solar is coming. Ed Miliband said by the end of the year, I think. I would still like some more details on this. I'm obsessed with this as well because I want to get my hands on one of these plug-in panels. You can plug in, play, as they say. Really popular in Germany, wildly popular in Germany. Over 500,000 households have installed them since last year in Germany, last year alone. And like things. Apparently Lidl is going to sell them, other supermarkets. If you know about these, if you're involved, let me know. Maybe Posh Preppers, they'll do me a discount code in the future. But I hope it's coming on soon because I can't wait forever. Of course, for Posh Preppers, our credo is not just built on one bit of kit, one bit of technology. It is about building a whole system, and that's what I want to talk about now to you. Because coming up next, the Posh Prepper Energy Stack. I do go to conferences and I know that people talk in terms of stacks these days, so why shouldn't we? Okay, number one is generation. I don't know why that says number two. Anyway, the system will be more dependent on renewables because they're going to be more variable and less controllable. So solar is the obvious entry point. Your solar replaces the most expensive electricity first. So you're generating power during the day when demand is still high, but prices aren't always low. So every unit you generate is one you don't have to buy at potentially high price, which is still influenced by gas because of what we said before. Second layer of the stack is storage. Because the problem with renewables obviously isn't just cost, it's timing. So electricity is cheap when it's abundant, expensive when it's scarce. A battery allows you to disrupt that so you can store when it's cheap, use when it's expensive. So this is Athelhampton, which is a very posh prepper retrofit. And this is where I saw the biggest battery Tesla Powerwall in the UK at the time. And it was in a stately home. So where are we getting to the batteries? Where's the batteries? Yeah, there we go. Okay, intelligent demand. And this is when you get into smart tariffs, time charging, load shifting. And it's where Posh Preppers, you get to behave like traders, not just consumers. Layer 4 is electrified transport. Okay, not just a car, it's an EV. It's effectively a battery on wheels. You charge it when electricity is cheap, and if you've got the right setup, you can use the energy later. Some people are basically using their cars instead of batteries. You're not just dodging petrol, you're playing the electricity market. Doesn't that feel good as a posh prepper? Fifth layer, electrify heating. Oh, heating's dropped off this. Anyway, it's important. It's almost so the hardest and the most context dependent, but it's a major part of the stack. Heat pumps only really shine when electricity pricing improves and when everything's set up correctly. It's all about the installer, but they matter because heating is your biggest energy cost, and that's how you bring that into your own system. If you just take away one thing, it is time to think of yourself not as a consumer of energy, but as a micro utility, a generator, if you like. You posh preppers, remember that's just a joke title. What it means is you're prepared, pragmatic, and ahead of the curve, and we want to stay that way. Signing out from the top of my World War II air raid shelter. You get to slide down at the end. Whee!